Championship Wrestling 84. I'm Gordon Soley, your Championship Wrestling 84. I'm Gordon Soley, your host. With me are Barbara Clary and Buddy Cole. And what we just saw, of course, the sensational pinfall by one Scott McGhee. And, of course, he's going to have a tremendous opportunity to meet the World Heavyweight Champion in the Central Florida Spectacular upcoming in Orlando. Barbara Clary, your take 5 today, once again, is most unusual.
That's right. I'm going to be talking with Kevin Sullivan and Sir Oliver Humperdinck about the situation that occurred last week with superstar Billy Graham.
And, Buddy, we're going to be seeing some great competitors today, including Scott McGhee, the Florida Heavyweight Champion, going up against Buck Robley, a very controversial individual.
That will be a very exciting match, I'm sure. Scott McGhee, the Florida Heavyweight Champion, going up against the ring veteran, very crafty, very wily, and very cagey Buck Robley. Also, you'll be seeing today in action Mike Graham, Jim Neidhart, Tess Watley, Billy Jack, and a host of others. Also, would like to remind everybody that tomorrow, September 23rd, 3 o'clock p.m. in the afternoon at Robarts Arena in Sarasota, Coach John Heath has arranged for the world's heavyweight wrestling champion, Ric Flair, to be there on hand. Remember, just in the past few months, 2 major titles have changed hands in Sarasota. This could well be the time that the world's title could change hands there.
Could be indeed. Right now, we've got a great match in the ring, so let's go to the ring. A challenge here, Chief Joe Lightfoot going up against the Saint. And it was Lightfoot who was insisted upon this match to try and avenge what happened just a couple of weeks ago. Bill Alfonso, the referee, and the Saint wasting no time. And Lightfoot exploding back on the Saint.
I remember very well the match just a couple weeks ago where it seemed like Chief Joe Lightfoot had the match well under control, and something happened that was very controversial during that match. And ever since then, Chief Joe Lightfoot had been screaming and petitioning for a rematch, and now today he has it. Looks like he's going to that mask, trying to pull that mask off of these Saints. I might say that it's very hard to get a mask off. They are tied with a very strong nylon cord under the chin, around the back of the head, and you really have to do something to get those masks off. They are on there to stay.
By the way, immediately following this match, we're going to have a rather disturbing bedside interview with Blackjack Mulligan, who has been hospitalized. Lightfoot trying for a pinfall, now a snap mare on the Saint. Drives the knee into the side of the head of the Saint.
Well, right now I kind of think it's kind of early in the match for a pinfall with 2 competitors like this. They are both such well-conditioned athletes. Superb conditioning. It takes a long time for a man to get worn down. Nothing has happened yet to really expel all the energy. Right now you notice Chief Joe Lightfoot has that side headlock, laying his weight across the upper chest. Now, the Saint is trying to get a little added leverage by holding the tights, the trunks of Chief Joe Lightfoot, trying for a pin, but right into the ropes, and looks like the Saint is not going to break clean. Chief Joe Lightfoot in a bad position there against the ropes. The referee trying to get the Saint away.
Saint pretty handy with those dukes, I'll tell you. Hard right hand that puts Chief Joe Lightfoot to his knees. Back to his feet. Snap mare takes him to the canvas again. And the Saint utilizing the flat of the foot.
Of course, many maneuvers such as this is designed to wear your opponent down, wear him out, make him use up his energy, soften him up for a possible pinning combination later. Looks like the Chief Joe Lightfoot has got his hand drop. He's going after the Saint.
Good move by Lightfoot, rolling reverse, and as the Saint in near fall, a 2 count on him, and the Saint drives the knee to the midsection. That neck breaker. Lightfoot's got some problems now.
Well, that neck breaker was very devastating hold. The neck breaker is a finishing hold, and fortunately, Chief Joe Lightfoot was able to come out. Many times that neck breaker is a pinning combination. That takes a lot out of you.
Lightfoot has him tied up in the ropes now, drove into his midsection, and Lightfoot chops into the chest now of the Saint. And again, it's Lightfoot wasting no time, and again, the referee saying, no, wait a minute. Look at the Saint putting on another glove, and rough serve. I don't know what's in that glove, but he definitely put on a glove, another glove, and that dropped Chief Joe Lightfoot for the count. As I said just a few moments ago, Blackjack Mulligan was hospitalized for several days, and after an incident occurred regarding Kevin Sullivan, and luckily our camera crew was able to go to his bedside and conduct an interview with Blackjack Mulligan, and it's a very, very interesting turn of events. Let's go to that interview at this time.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to explain just for a few minutes some of the things that have happened to myself and to my family. And you get a very, very rare opportunity to come into my home today because I've just been released from the hospital, and I'm sitting here with some of the people that are very close, that have always been close to us and very dear to me. And I think the whole world needs to know, and an explanation needs to be given to what has happened to the family. Now, Kevin Sullivan, there's been some accusations that you have been directly involved in my going to the hospital. Well, you know that you are. Not a question of a doubt. And you know, in some things that happen in this life, some people have to be sacrificed. And the devil thinks that the whole family is being torn asunder and being spread all over this world. Well, you're very mistaken, because in what you've caused and what you've done and the grief that you've caused this family, it's just worked in a reverse for you, because what's fixing to happen to you, Kevin Sullivan, brother, it's coming down on you. Judgment's coming down on you like it's never come before. And if Jack Mulligan has to be the one sacrificed, I'll be the one. But Cindy Lou's back with us, and she's got some things she wants to say today, and I want her to get it off her heart. Cindy.
Thank you, Blackjack. I just came to say that I'm sorry about what I put you and Kendall through, the things I've done to you, the things that I've caused to happen to both you and him both. And you know, deep in your heart, I didn't mean to do any of those things. And I just would like for y'all to forgive me for everything I've done to y'all. And also, I'd like to special thanks to Superstar Billy Graham for him taking my side, standing to my side, stopping the animal from doing who knows what to me. I knew deep down inside that he was always the man that I thought he was, and he proved that to everybody by what he did. And Jack, also I want to say that I'm sorry. I'm sorry for injuries that happened to you and Superstar that was caused due to my fault, and I feel that I'm responsible in some ways, and I appreciate everything that you've done, you, Kendall, and everybody, to help me get my mind back together, and that's what I'm trying to do now. And I'd just like to say that I think I need some time to just go by myself and rid myself of the influence.
Don't you worry about Cindy Lou. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Brother, if that don't get your heart, then nothing will. Cindy Lou, there's no problem. Don't worry about it at all, because to forgive and forget. And let me tell you something. If you can't forgive, you cannot be forgiven. And that's something everybody in this whole world needs to remember right now. But something that even excites my heart right now, I'm going to tell you something. September the 23rd in Orlando. The family is coming together, and the foundation of the devil is starting to fall apart at its very seams. You can feel it. Dusty Rhodes is going to be there. But, brother, something that sends chills up your spine is taking my place right there in Orlando in front of all my people, and pickup trucks and all that stuff. It's going to be Barry Windham, live and living color. And he's going to wrestle you, Kevin Sullivan. And I'm going to tell you something. I'd give anything in the world, Cindy Lou, if I could be there. And I'll guarantee all the good people right now that judgment is coming down on Kevin Sullivan's head. And it's coming down like it ought to be coming down.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Kendall. I love y'all so much. Thank you for forgiving me.
It's a night of champions tonight in Miami Beach at the Miami Beach Convention Center. And next Friday night, championship wrestling will be held in Okeechobee at the Crystal Lake Resort. That's next Friday night. Now let's get back to the matches tonight here in Miami Beach at the Miami Beach Convention Center. A night of champions. Dusty Rhodes, former world heavyweight champion, goes up against Ric Flair, the current NWA world heavyweight champion, in a 2 out of 3 falls match. In the Southern title return, it'll be Pistol Pez Whatley against Kevin Sullivan. Dory Funk Jr. and Jesse Barr, with Terry Funk in their corner, will take on Mike Graham and Billy Jack. You'll also see Dick Slater against Scott McGhee, the Rock and Roll Express against the Koloffs. It'll be Crusher Khrushchev against Chief Joe Lightfoot, and it'll be Buck Robley against Shotgun Willie. A night of champions tonight in Miami Beach at the Convention Center. And I want to talk to Mike Graham and Billy Jack as gentlemen. With Terry Funk in Dory's corner, you're going to have problems.
The only thing that really shows me is that they don't have confidence enough in themselves as Jesse Barr and Dory Funk Jr. to beat myself and Billy Jack, because they've got to have that extra person. When it's a one-on-one situation, they've got to have that extra thing. Now in a tag match, they don't have confidence in themselves. They know they can't beat it.
Mike, I'll just say this much. Terry Funk, Dory Funk, they're fantastic wrestlers. Jesse Barr's a fantastic wrestler. I don't know what kind of money they're paying Jesse Barr. He used to be a very good friend of mine. We grew up together in Portland, Oregon. Now, what's coming down, I don't know. You can have Terry Funk, you can have Andre the Giant, you can have anybody you want. Mike Graham and myself have proved ourselves as a tag team, and whatever Terry Funk's got up his sleeve, I don't know what it is. We're going to be 100% prepared for it.
All going to come down tonight in Miami Beach at the Miami Beach Convention Center. Match time is 8 p.m. A night of champions here in Miami Beach. The biggest night of wrestling ever in the state, and it's being held tonight at the Convention Center. With me right now is former world heavyweight champion Dory Funk Jr. and Jesse Barr.
Gordon, we have a challenge for the chicken. The little chicken. You saw what happened last night when the little chicken wouldn't fight me and he wouldn't fight Jesse Barr. Who are we talking about? Who's the little chicken?
None other than Mike Graham. Everybody's seen him run. Everybody knows that he's a chicken. Why don't he come out here?
We have a challenge for the little chicken, and we got a little bit of grain here for the little chicken. The little chicken can come out and he can take on me, or he can take on Jesse Barr. And you little chicken, I am serious, because take a look at this. Gordon, we're here. We're ready to wrestle the little chicken. Pick his opponent, Jesse Barr, or pick me. And I hope he picks me, and I've got something for him, too.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. You're talking about him leaving the ring. And I imagine they are feeling a little bit foolish after what happened here last week, buddy. As you remember.
Well, I remember it very well. I remember the conclusion of everything, that Mike Graham more or less humiliated both Jesse Barr and Dory Funk Jr.
The fact of the matter is, let's take a look at that incident as it occurred last week when Mike Graham got in the ring against Jesse Barr and Dory Funk Jr. And Graham in behind his man. Ooh, the referee knocked out.
He's got him. That's down for a pin.
Well, he's got him for a pin. Dory Funk Jr. charges in there. He misses with the right hand. Mike Graham going for a figure four.
That's a figure four.
And Graham just turned them both back. I certainly wouldn't call that running from the ring. I would say that was a very strategic withdrawal in the face of two opponents.
Well, there's no way they can call Mike Graham a chicken right there. Mike Graham was very smart because he was obviously having to face both men, but he did let them both know what a tough competitor he really is.
No question about that. Let's go to the ring now for our next match. Jim Neidhart moving up against Larry Hamilton. One fall.
This should prove to be a very interesting match. Larry Hamilton being an exponent of the fine arts of wrestling, a former collegiate AAU champion. He's just held numerous titles throughout the country. And then, of course, Jim Neidhart, on the other hand, being big, strong, and powerful, former professional football player. See him very easily lifting Larry Hamilton up. Larry Hamilton's going to have to stay to the basics of wrestling to be able to combat a man like Jim Neidhart.
Neidhart circling his man, as is Hamilton. Hamilton, of course, the faster of the two. And again, Neidhart brings him up. Full body slam on Hamilton. Hamilton out of the University of Tampa. By the way, the Spartan Spectacular takes place next Tuesday at the University of Tampa Spartan Sports Center on North Boulevard. Hamilton being blocked in his attempt. A good move by Hamilton. Excellent counter. And Neidhart almost... Hamilton using that speed to great advantage.
Well, that's exactly what I was referring to earlier. As long as he stays to the basics of wrestling, I've always been a strong believer in that a very well-skilled wrestler can always defeat a larger and stronger man by being able to use that man's own weight against him. Right now, you can see Larry Hamilton hanging onto that arm bar and able to roll him over using the leverage and weight of Jim Neidhart against himself. Here's Larry Hamilton still on the arm bar, and Jim Neidhart in some trouble right now.
Mr. Hamilton acquitting himself extremely well against Neidhart, giving away about 40 to 50 pounds here. And again, Neidhart using his strength and jammed in that time, and slowly, and he uses the forearm into the chest now of Larry Hamilton. Snapmare that has Hamilton back to the canvas once again.
Jim Neidhart just twisting his neck with his reverse chin lock, is putting the pressure on his vertebrae and the back of the neck. Neidhart just putting a pressure on Larry Hamilton, in some trouble right now. There's a lot of power in the arms of Jim Neidhart.
Neidhart now with a snapmare on Hamilton, takes him back to the canvas. Came out with a forearm that time. Driving Hamilton back. This time it was Hamilton ducking away from him, catching him in a backdrop. Hamilton moves in, explodes with a right and a left. Tell you one thing, this Neidhart can take it and then he can dish it out. No question about that.
Well, that's what makes a tough competitor, man, that can't take it. Many competitors cannot take the punishment. Jim Neidhart can take it as well. Dish it out, like you said, Gordon.
Hamilton ducks to one side. Hamilton catches him with a beautiful flying drop kick. Hamilton moving very aggressively now, goes up for a head scissors. Has Neidhart down. Neidhart back to his feet. Hamilton closing. Went for another head scissors, and Neidhart just stopped him right in flight. Brother. Man. Forward momentum and that crushing weight down on the chest of Larry Hamilton. The victor in this match is Jim Neidhart.
Hey, Vern, is that what you're watching? Vern. The Dukes of Hazzard's what you should be watching on WCIX Channel 6, Vern. They got it all. Got your car chasing, hot rod, and fast living, and pretty gals, know what I mean? Dukes of Hazzard on WCIX Channel 6, Vern. Be a part of it. Vern, my hat.
The age of electronics is now, and Aaron Rent's Electronics has what you want at incredibly low prices. Save up to 30% and more when you rent TVs, stereos, microwave ovens, and VCRs. Rent 19-inch color TVs for only $31.50 a month, or a complete stereo system for only $37 a month. Rent for a short time or rent to own in 18 months. You don't need established credit, and service is free while you rent. Aaron Rents, the value leader in rentals for over 28 years. Call or visit your nearest store in Miami or Fort Lauderdale.
A check for all the money you need. If you own a home, it's easier to get than you may think. This is Friedlander Financial's Loan Central. This is where Friedlander Home Equity Loan Specialists help you get the money you need. These people are trained to say yes. 9 out of 10 homeowners who call Friedlander get the check they need within 1 week. Whether you need $5,000, $10,000, even $100,000, normally 1 week is all it takes. If there's something worthwhile a check like this can do for you, call your local Friedlander office. Here's the number to call, When a Friedlander-trained operator answers, give her your name and telephone number and tell her the kind of loan you'd like. Friedlander understands the confidential nature of your call. Why spend another night worrying about money? In 1 week's time, you can have your own Friedlander check.
3 locations in the Miami area. Call the location nearest you.
Friedlander always has money to lend.
Girls are the subject of our missing children's bulletin for this week. The first is Crystal Marie Bowman. She is a 3-year-old. She's 3 feet tall, weighs 40 pounds. She was last seen in Deerfield Beach, Florida. Anyone having any information regarding Crystal Marie Bowman, please contact the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, 1-800-342-0821. 1-800-342-0821. Our second girl is Amy Billig. Amy is a 15-year-old at the time that she disappeared. She was last seen March 5th, 1974 in Coconut Grove, Florida. Again, anyone having any information on Amy Billig, please contact the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, 1-800-342-0821. 1-800-342-0821. And now let's go to the ring. Okay, Mike Graham getting set to move out. Against Mike Davis. Graham catching in a side headlock. Graham, of course, in the blue trunks. Davis in the red trunks and up against those ring ropes.
Well, it looks like we might be seeing a nice, clean, scientific wrestling match here for a change. This is something that is welcome sight to many people. I am constantly having people tell me, why don't we have more scientific wrestling matches? Well, say we cannot dictate to the wrestlers in their style of wrestling. They all do their own thing. And right now, it looks like we're going to have a very good, fast-moving, close-fought match. Mike Graham coming down with that left knee on the side muscle of Davis here. Just putting the pressure on the ankle.
Got him with a good drop toe hold and certainly continues to punish his man now. Davis going to have some problems moving around with that left leg.
Well, that, of course, is the strategy of wrestling, to try and wear out one part of the body where your opponent can barely use it, which will partially enable that man to walk, get that leg hurt. Just knock one leg out from under man, he's almost helpless. You see Davis having a little trouble with that left leg now. I kind of feel sure that Mike Graham will no doubt go back for that left leg again.
Well, arm drag and twist now by Davis on Graham. Graham inside. Looked like he was a possible fireman carry, but instead a single leg pickup. And it's exactly as you said, buddy. Right back to that left leg again. Notice the wide stance, and he's got the right leg trapped on the canvas. So Davis is really virtually a helpless position here.
Yes, he really is. You know, all the years that I was wrestling, I would try and do things similar to this. Keep going after the same part of the body. Well, it looks like Davis felt the only way to get out of this was to go to the ropes. Going to the ropes is not exactly what you might call an ethical escape. However, it still constitutes an escape. He was able to get out of that hole. Now he's up with a good, strong side headlock from Mike Graham. Mike Graham just powering off. Looks like Mike Davis might have made a mistake. He grabbed Mike by the back of the hair and threw him into the turnbuckle. This might get Mike.
Graham met him head on that time with a forearm right into the chest, and now very quickly goes to the figure four. Very quickly into that figure four, and Davis just as quickly concedes. That figure four, of course, is an intensely painful hold. And Graham checking. He may have gotten himself a split lip there. I'm not sure. And he's heading over this way to the desk, and I'm not sure what he was... Mike, I'm not sure whether or not you were aware of the fact that Mr. Funk and Mr. Barr...
You know, I heard your comment. There's a drastic difference between chicken and someone using their brain. You fellas think that I just started wrestling? I'm in a wrestling family. I've been wrestling all my life. I've been wrestling professionally 13 years. I just didn't come in off one of the boats across the bay there. And I know that you can't wrestle one of these men at a time. If you wrestle one, you got to wrestle both of them. So when you guys volunteer to lock yourself in a cage where animals should be locked up, I'll get a tag team partner and wrestle both of them. I'm not afraid of them. I'm not a chicken, but I'm no fool, Gordon. And I showed last week in a one-on-one situation I can beat them both.
Well, he did that. There's no question about it. That was sensational, as we saw earlier, and they just had a sensational victory here. Speaking of sensational, well, let's take a look at a pair that are strictly sensational in my book, and I'm sure Buddy would agree with me. Let's take a look at the Rock and Roll Express.
The day started out looking like a loop.
Well, Mr. Funk and Mr. Barr have returned to the desk.
Take a look at this, you little chicken. You know, Gordon, we've been out here calling Mike Graham a chicken. We might have made a mistake because some chickens will fight, you know. In the islands, they have chickens that fight. A Rhode Island Red will fight. A Leghorn might fight you. I've had chickens jump right on me, but I'll tell you what kind of chicken is a coward. The kind of chicken that won't fight is a Florida chicken. A Florida chicken, isn't that right?
Florida chickens don't fight.
Well, wait a minute.
As far as I'm concerned, I've seen a lot of chickens around here. Florida's just is a state full of gutless chickens that don't want to fight.
Well, now, Mike Graham just had a match, and by now I'm sure he's... well, I'm sure that he is, by now is in the shower.
Don't want to fight.
And I don't
He
think...
don't want to fight. He knows better. We're just saying, come on, Mike Graham or one of you Florida chickens, pick me or pick Jesse Barr, and let's get it on. Let's find out. We're waiting. We're in chicken.
Wait just a minute.
Excuse me, Gordon. I'm real sorry for coming out here and interrupting you out here uninvited like this. But I am the Florida heavyweight champion, and I'm very proud. It's an honor to put this belt around my waist because I'm representing all the people of Florida. Now, I'm not trying to get personal, and I know that you're very close and your son, you've got a lot of guts. And without a doubt, you would have won a gold medal in the Greco-Roman in the 1980 Olympics. But when it comes down to it, you got one head, you got two arms, and you got two legs, just like me.
Well, listen here, chicken. If you're not too chicken, why don't you get in the ring right now, and I'll show you just what all these chickens that you represent, just how much of a chicken you are, too. If you're not too chicken, get in the ring right now. Come on, get in the ring.
Yes,
And it looks like he's accepting that challenge.
He sure has. He sure has, brother. Well, all right. We've got one going here. Scott McGhee taking definite umbrage to the comments by Jesse Barr. And Barr putting that Greco-Roman wrestling to work, but good ride, and McGhee trying to escape. Sit out. He does escape. He's back on his feet, and Barr is a study of frustration now.
Well, Barr making a comment that everybody here in Florida's chickens, I guess he's seeing right now that he's just blowing a lot of smoke and not a bit of word. No words of that are true. He's hollering chicken at Scott McGhee. I think he's going to see something else.
Good reversal by Scott McGhee. Scott McGhee moves in. Another full body slam on... whoa! Caught him with a forearm that rocked him. Caught him again in this section. I have rarely seen Scott McGhee so deadly intense as he was when he came over to hold his belt. And he went directly through the ring, and Mr. Barr is beginning to find out what kind of a Florida chicken he's facing right here. Brother.
Jesse Barr and Dory Funk Jr., they like to fight in pairs. When it's just one-on-one against a top competitor such as Scott McGhee or Mike Graham, they don't fare quite so well. But you do have to have eyes in the back of your head when these two men are around. You never know what to expect. It's like Dory Funk Jr. stepping up a step there, now coming back down. Let's just hope that Dory Funk Jr. will stay where he belongs.
Barr with a forearm. McGhee retaliates with another forearm, another one under the chin that rocks Barr. Barr is staggered, but Barr fires back. Hammerlock now by Jesse Barr and Scott McGhee. Uses that elbow rather effectively, turns into his man, a single leg pickup. The name of the game is wrestling, and that's exactly what's happening here. Both of these men just outstanding wrestlers. Head scissors now by Jesse Barr.
Well, now turn it up to Scott McGhee, the Florida heavyweight champion, to come out of this hole and for a possible reversal. Let's see what strategy he uses here. Scott McGhee has such a vast array of wrestling holds and counter moves that I feel confident he will come up with something. He's pulling the legs apart, trying to come out this way. Looks like Jesse Barr is holding on to the hair.
Good move by McGhee as he went into those femoris muscles. Another bolo-like forearm of Scott McGhee. He misses. Barr misses, and McGhee caught with a full body slam by Jesse Barr. Barr again rocks him with a forearm. Irish whip into the far corner. Barr charges in. McGhee caught him coming in. Scott McGhee. Beautiful drop kick. And Barr caught in the mouth, and brother retained his feet, but now Dory Funk Jr. tripped him up and drove him right straight into the and the referee chastising Funk for, wait a minute, he's got a double cobra on him. He's got a double cobra. That's coming across both carotid arteries. He's got a...
That double cobra hole is a devastating type of sleeper hole. It's one of the worst type of sleeper holes around, Gordon. I have seen that applied before. It cuts off the blood flow to the brain from both sides.
Scott McGhee, I'm sure, is virtually unconscious, if not totally unconscious. And Barr still looking like he's... and Funk saying something to him, and Barr still looks like he wants to go after Scott McGhee. Barr is... wait a minute.
What are they up to now?
Well, he said he had chicken feed. And that's... what is that?
What is going on here?
Like he's spreading tar all over it. Oh, good grief.
In 20, 25 years around professional wrestling, I have never seen anything like this. What?
Oh, this is absolutely...
Those are chicken feathers.
They're tar and feathering him is what they're doing. This is absolutely disgusting.
This is the most reprehensible...
Well, I'll tell you, this bar is on a borderline as far as I'm concerned. He is on a borderline. And we're going to have to get some assistance to...
Now, there's that Florida chicken for you.
Well, that is absolutely disgusting.
I have never seen anything as low life and disgusting as this, Gordon. This is it.
Well, we'll just have to get some help for Scott McGhee, and we'll be back. It's a night of champions tonight here in Miami Beach at the Miami Beach Convention Center, the biggest night of wrestling for this entire year, held tonight at the Miami Beach Convention Center. Match time is 8 p.m. In a World Heavyweight Championship match, it will be the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, 2 out of 3 falls, 1 hour, against Ric Flair. In a Southern Championship return match, it'll be Fiscal Pez Watley against Kevin Sullivan. Dory Funk Jr. and Jesse Barr, with Terry Funk in their corner, take on Mike Graham and Billy Jack. Dick Slater goes up against Scott McGhee. The Rock and Roll Express goes up against the Koloffs. It'll be Crusher Khrushchev against Chief Joe Lightfoot. Buck Robley takes on Shotgun Willie. A night of champions tonight at the Miami Beach Convention Center. I want to take a moment right now to talk to Fiscal Pez Watley, the Southern
Gordon,
title.
I'm going to tell you what. Kevin Sullivan, I have a Southern title match. I'm entitled to have one because you took it off from me. I tell you what, it's Fort Lauderdale. That's okay because tonight in Miami, I have the night of champions, my biggest night in my career, because I'm going to promise those people one thing for sure. I'm going to put my schedule on the line. I'm going to put everything down, and what's coming down is you, Kevin Sullivan. I want my title back, and I'm going to get it back.
Thank you,
from you.
Thank you so very much, Fiscal Pez Watley. In a moment, we're going to be hearing from the NWA World Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair, and we'll be hearing from the Funks and Kevin Sullivan.
All right, Dusty Rhodes. They tell me that you got a title shot. They say since you beat me for Lords of the Ring that you have demanded a title shot. Well, Rhodes, look at it long and hard, because this time you won't have Eddie Graham pushing me around. We won't be wrestling for any $15,000 ring. We'll be wrestling for $1 million gold belt. And you know what I'm talking about, brother. I am financially on top of the world because of this. You'd like to be there, brother. Don't plan on it. Woo!
It's the Night of Champions. It's not the big event in town. Believe me, it's the only event in town because you are looking at individuals and athletes with Jesse Barr and Dory Funk Jr. and Terry Funk here, and we will personally challenge anybody in the city of Miami that night if they have the guts to come in the ring and face us, and that goes for that steroid-polluted freak and that chicken that he's with. Is that right or not, Junior? Tell him to come on out and see what a Funk and a Barr and a Funk are like.
You got it, Terry, and these people haven't seen anything yet.
Miami, take a look at him, the Southern Heavyweight Champion, Kevin Sullivan. Tonight, he wants it back.
He wants it back, but just like his uncle, Revolver Watley, that was hung in Selma, Alabama in 1943, I'm going to lynch you in Miami. The belt belongs to the devil.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. I'll tell you what, it is a Night of Champions tonight in Miami Beach at the Convention Center. That's the place to be. And the American Dream, 2 times World Heavyweight Champion Dusty Rhodes will be there. He had these comments.
The biggest night of history in a wrestling in Miami since the Orange Bowl. Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, Ric Flair, 2 out of 3 falls for the World Heavyweight title, the Lord of the Rings. The greatest array of wrestling stars throughout this country. It's coming to Miami on the 22nd. It's a fever night, because that's where my Taking Care of Business tour really starts to kick in gear. The Unity Tour. Everybody pulling together. I got the ring now. I want the gold around Ric Flair's waist. 2 out of 3 falls for the World Heavyweight title. He knows what can happen to him. It's going to be electrified funk in Miami 22nd.
I want to take a moment now to talk to Pistol Pez Watley and also to Billy Jack about tonight. As you said, you heard Kevin Sullivan. He seems very confident.
I'll tell you what, you can talk about everybody you want to. You can talk about, say that you hung my relatives, do anything you want to. But what's going to happen, I'm going to take that belt in Miami tonight.
Billy Jack, you and Mike Graham, Dory Funk, and Jesse Barr, and they seem very, very confident.
Right there. Get a belt there, Dan. You can do it, babe. Okay, yeah, we're confident. All I can say, you know, Terry Funk, Dory Funk, Jesse Barr, I don't know what you're paying. Jesse Barr used to be a good friend of mine. Professional wrestling, it's a tough sport. It's the toughest sport in the world. And we're going to be ready for anything you got to offer us. And Funk, go ahead, Terry Funk, get your fanny in the ring. I'd like to get a piece here myself, man.
All going to happen tonight, the biggest night of wrestling, the Night of Champions, Miami Beach Convention Center. Well, we're still trying to get the ring as cleared up as possible after that completely humiliating situation to our Florida heavyweight champion, Scott McGhee. And it's Billy Jack moving into the ring now, moving out against Jim Kent, and former world champion Terry Funk has joined us here today.
You know, Billy Jack, I've always heard Billy Jack throughout the country while I'm down here scouting a man. And as far as I'm concerned, look at him, Gordon. You want to admit something? He's totally synthetic, isn't he?
I I would hardly say that, Mr. Funk. I have found that Billy Jack is one of the most powerful men in the sport today. And, hey, well, you can see here as he just...
Was that a wrestling hold, Soley? He's a clown and he's a buffoon. He definitely is a roid. He's a Nimroid. He has hemorrhoids between his ears and he's pumped full of steroids.
Well, I don't believe that to be the truth, sir, and I might point out that...
You know, Florida's full of Nimroids. Nimroids and chickens, Soley. Does that impress you as being a great wrestler? Did that impress you as a wrestling move? Look at that.
I would say that he is indeed a very intimidating man, as you can see right there. He uses intimidation as an excellent weapon. I can think of like Cassius Clay or Muhammad Ali.
Like Cassius Clay or Muhammad Ali. That's a has-been. You look at this man, and he's a never was as far as being a great wrestler. Look at me. I've got a natural body. My brother has a natural body. Look at that man. He probably blow-dries his hair. Whoa.
Brother. Caught him with a right hand that dropped Kemp to the canvas.
A right hand? That was a right fist, Foley. That has nothing else to do with wrestling either. Look at him.
Well, he's out. Kent is out. Well, slowly coming around, and...
Have you ever heard of a man trying to pin him? What you doing, picking him up right now?
I'm trying to bring him back to his senses, that's for sure. And Kent exploding on Billy Jack, and Billy Jack... Brother. Now, Mr. Funk, would you say that's impressive?
Sad because you've got great big, huge, synthetic arms. You say that that's impressive. I'm looking for stuff.
Well, I find it very...
I came down here to be impressed. I've heard about the man. Hey, Billy Jack, come over here. Billy Jack. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. Come on, come on. Yeah, you're a great athlete. Come on over here. Come on over here, Billy Jack. Come here. Come on, stand up here, Billy Jack. Yeah, you're a great athlete, aren't you? Did God give you those arms?
I had to work for him, brother.
You had to work for
18 years I
him?
worked for him.
Yeah, well, let me ask you something else. Who's your heroes? They certainly aren't Wallace Berry, John Wayne, Audie Murphy from Hell or Back. No, it's none of them. You know who your heroes are? Would you like to know who your heroes are? I'll tell you who they are. There's some muscle-bound freaks that are strolling around this world that don't have anything except muscles on their shoulders and arms and no brains. Do you realize you're totally synthetic? You don't impress me. Look at yourself. You don't impress me. Who do you impress? Who do you want to impress, Billy Jack?
Listen, man, I'm not much on talk. You got such a big mouth. Why don't you go in the ring and back it up right now, you punk? You got a big mouth. Why don't you back it up? What this is going to hurt me one bit, man. You got to get your butt in the ring.
I think we'd better... I think we'd better... we'll be back in just a moment. We'll be right back. It's a night of champions tonight in Miami Beach. Professional wrestling, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Right now, here's Barbara Clary.
Esta noche a las 8 en el Centro de Convenciones en Miami Beach, la lucha libre de campeones presentará para el título del mundo Ric Flair contra Dusty Rhodes y 6 luchas más. Esta noche a las 8 en el Centro de Convenciones en Miami Beach.
It is tonight, the World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Ric Flair defending against the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, 2 out of 3 falls, a 1-hour time limit. A Southern Heavyweight Championship return match, Pistol Pez Whatley against Kevin Sullivan. Dory Funk Jr. and Jesse Barr with Terry Funk in their corner take on Mike Graham and Billy Jack. Dick Slater goes up against Scott McGhee. The Rock and Roll Express will take on the Koloffs. It'll be Crusher Khrushchev against Chief Joe Lightfoot, and Colonel Buck Robley takes on Shotgun Willie. A night of champions tonight in Miami Beach at the Convention Center. Match time is 8 p.m.
Humperdinck and Kevin Sullivan have joined me at the desk, and the question that I've been asked most this week is why? You had an incredible wrestler in superstar Billy Graham, and after what happened last week, everyone wants to know why.
Everybody in the wrestling world is talking about what happened here last week with superstar Billy Graham and Kevin Sullivan. Well, let me tell you something. Superstar Billy Graham, you're a weaker man than I thought you were, because you fell to the weakness of the flesh. Tell them about it, Kevin.
You know, Barbara, when Humperdinck brought the star to me, I brought him myself. I took it upon myself to bring him to Habuda Dean. When I took him to Habuda Dean, I put myself on the line. But obviously, Graham was lusting for that girl. That had nothing to do with it because that was my property, superstar. He went one step too far, and I could see something in him that had to be eradicated right then, Barbara Clary.
I'd like to take another look at that to see exactly how easy it was for us to take care of Billy Superstar Graham, get him out of the picture for good. Go ahead and roll that videotape. I know you got it back there.
All right, let's take a look at the situation.
Go down that doll. Good referee.
Look at him, man.
Now, this is insane. Wait a minute. Superstar Billy Graham just put a stop to that. Superstar cut from behind.
And now they're attacking Superstar Graham.
Superstar Graham trying to stop him from further entering the lock, and now it is Kevin Sullivan and Sir Oliver Humperdinck going around the throat of
lacerated. Kevin Sullivan was found clinically insane. There's just no stopping him.
And it is Mike Graham just hit the scene. Mike Graham just hit the scene, and that cleared the area. And
he made the mistake that many, many people have made by sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. When Sullivan was disciplining his slave, Superstar Billy Graham had the audacity to try to stop him, but now Superstar Billy Graham is out of the picture. Now he's not around Florida anymore. Now he's not here to bother me and Sullivan anymore. We've gotten rid of him for good. I'm confident.
Let me tell you something, Barbara Clary. Habuda Dean has instructed me to be the keeper of the gate. And obviously, Superstar, it has never happened to me before. Superstar showed weakness. For 2.5 years, I have reigned without any problem. Superstar caused problems, and it was up to me to get rid of them for good. And what you saw when I smashed the chair on his head and led a vicious attack, I made sure that Superstar would be gone from the face of the earth for good.
Well, that may be so, but I have been sent an audio tape and some photos that are allegedly from superstar Billy Graham. So why don't we take a look at those photos and listen to that tape right now?
What are you trying to say?
Wait a second. First of all, Kevin Sullivan, I want you to know that I am alive and I am well. I am not in an Egyptian tomb in Cairo. I am not dwelling with the headhunters on the Amazon River. I'm not in the jungles of Borneo and Sumatra with the prehistoric pygmies, nor am I with the holy men in Calcutta and Tibet. Just as Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God, went into the deserts of Judea to fast for 40 days and 40 nights to gain strength to fight the devil, I, being a mere mortal, have also gone into the desert, shackled to this river bottom to cleanse my soul and spirit and gain the power that I will need to defeat you and Habuda Dean, to rid myself of every evil thing that you represent, all the filth, the dirt, the slime, the mire, and the disgusting, putrid, sick, inhumane acts that make you what you are, Kevin Sullivan. In the moment that I know that I have been released from the powers of darkness and all the evil spirits have left me, I will break these chains that bind me, tear loose these bonds that hold me. I will rise up from this river bottom grave and be free free at last. And I will march, crawl, swim if I have to, until I find you. And I will find you no matter how long it takes, for there's no place that you can hide. There's nowhere for you to run. Nothing and no one can save you now. I am coming back.
This is somebody's idea of a bad joke.
It's no joke. It's no joke, Humperdinck. It's no joke, because I know he's at the doorway. I know where he's at. Let me tell you this, Humperdinck. You told me he was gone. I don't care if he has to swim, crawl, or fly. I know where he is. He'll be back. He has been purged for war, bro.
There's nothing to worry about, Kevin. I've got connections, international connections, Daddy. All over the world. Don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing.
Let's now go to the ring for our next match.
Well, there you have it. Crusher Khrushchev hurtled into the ring against his opponent and wiped him out in a matter of seconds. And there's Khrushchev leaving the ring. All I can say about what we saw a moment ago with superstar Billy Graham, that wrestling fans and wrestlers alike are saying that that was the moment that superstar Billy Graham became a man. No question about it. We'll be right back. Today, but unfortunately, Tez's time has run out.
Well, you know, what you said just a minute ago, Gordon, is so true. All of us really feel that superstar Billy Graham, he became a man on that day. He stopped Kevin Sullivan from slapping. Well, let me tell you something. A lot of people don't like a lot of things that's going on down here, and Pistol Man that's included. Now, I'm going to tell you, Tar and Feather, what they done to Scott McGhee, that ain't going to be taken lightly. And Scott McGhee, I know right now is contemplating what he going to do about it. Larry Hamilton, the same thing. I'm going to tell you what, it's a whole lot of funk going on around here. And I'm going to tell you what, when I say funk, I mean Doris Funk. I mean Terry Funk. And I mean you, Kevin Sullivan. So check us out. We ain't through with y'all.
Well, unfortunately, our time is gone. See you next week.
If you're looking for excitement, action, or maybe a little comedy mixed in for fun, Channel 6 has it all.